Theatrical Shenanigans with...
Fred Tacon.
Hello there, and welcome back to Season 4 of Theatrical Shenanigans with me, your host, Rachel Feeney-Williams. As always, we have a brand new play for you in this episode and another wonderful guest to discuss it with. So, let's meet them, shall we? My guest today made his debut on Theatrical Shenanigans back in September 2024 as a panellist on The Panel Presents, but he also comes with many other titles. He's a playwright, composer, performer and director from Northern Kentucky, usually writing for young audiences. His plays and musicals have been performed in Kentucky, Ohio and Cincinnati, and if all of that wasn't enough, he serves as president of Kentucky Playwrights Workshop, an organisation dedicated to promoting and encouraging the development of new works by Kentucky playwrights. It's a thrill to have him here once again. Welcome back, Fred Tacon.
Thank you so much for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's a thrill to have you back. So, starting at the once upon a time, how did you get started in the arts world?
Great question. I was not involved in theater as a kid until high school. I was a little more into sports and computers and things of that sort. But early in high school, my older sister actually directed one of our school plays, and I was forced to go and be supportive and watch it. And I don't know, it kind of flipped a switch, and I was like, what is this theater thing? And so I started to get interested in it the next year. We're close enough that she was just leaving high school as I was just starting to go into it. So I actually got involved in our drama club and started off as an actor and still continue to perform even now. But that was kind of my first foray into theater was in the school plays. But then almost immediately I was never satisfied with just being an actor. I got immediately interested in sort of the nuts and bolts and how things were created. And so the next year after my first year with the school, I directed the play that we did, and instantly started having ideas about how I could write plays and write for the theater. And so that it kind of carried on from there. So I got involved in community theaters in the area. Although I didn't go to school or to college all the way through, but I did go to school for a bit and majored in theater and focused kind of both on performance and playwriting. And then that's kind of what launched me in that direction. So yeah, that's kind of where the start came from.
Mm. And of course, you've worn, as you say, a multitude of hats over the years from directing, performing, composing. Do you have a favorite, or is it very much an equal labor of love?
It's a great question. I mean, earlier on, I probably would have said that performing was my favorite. I primarily perform in musicals, and so I love musical theater, everything about it. Um, I think the older that I've gotten, the less time I spend on stage.
Hmm.
Um, I do enjoy directing, but I wouldn't call that my primary gig. If there's something, a project that I'm really passionate about, then I'll give myself over to that and will be very, happy to direct. But I think now really writing is where I've found the most, where my passions really lie. So, and kind of coming from a musical background, I've been trying to get myself refocused on some musical projects, although I've probably written more straight plays over the recent past. But I'm starting to kind of turn my attention back to musicals.
I truly admire anyone who can uh, set their feet in the musical theatre side because I cannot write music or lyrics for toffee. So, what made you kind of stray in that direction to start with?
I'm sure part of it came from the fact that that's really from a performing perspective where I kind of found my uh, well, one, it's kind of what got me into really like into to being involved in theater. So I did a couple of school plays, but when I got out into the community, almost immediately the things that I did were musicals as a performer. And so I think as I started to come up with ideas for what I might want to write because I was so heavily involved in musicals as a performer. I think just naturally I was thinking in terms of how I could take this or that and turn it into a musical. And I also just, I've always been a lover of music. I am not a very good instrumentalist at all, but music is something that I've always loved. So I think they were just sort of a very natural pairing. And I probably from my performance experience, I feel right or wrong, I feel like I have a good sense of how to structure a musical and just kind of how the pieces fit together.
Mm. But then, of course, you have a fabulous collection of plays on New Play Exchange. Do you have a preferred topic that you like to explore? Obviously, I know with genre we talked about musicals already, but is there anything other than those that you like to write in, or is it just like a little bit of everything?
It's probably a little bit of everything. I will say that I lean more towards musical or straight play comedy over things that are more dramatic.
Mm,
I'm not really an issues writer or a political writer. I think if there's like one thing I would say that I focus on is just sort of bringing joy. Maybe I'm more of an escapist writer in that I love to hear people laugh at the things that I've written, and if people, kind of feel lifted and feel better when the piece is done, then
mm,
that makes me happy. So
mm.
that's probably what I would say if there is a genre would be comedy and where I can, musical comedy.
I have said this before that in the world we live in, where so much can be seen as like dark and very serious. I think sometimes we do need a world where we can just escape and appreciate the silly and just laugh because, it's there's always a place for it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And, and to take nothing away from this more serious pieces or those that do speak to current events. I have attended and read many that are very gripping and very impactful, and I love to be a consumer of those. But for me personally, in terms of what I write, no, I agree. I think there's space for all kinds of theater, and my particular lane just happens to be more in the comedy space, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So what does the future look like for you? Do you have an idea of what the rest of this year is going to look like? Do you have a preference or a dream of what you want to see for the rest of this year?
Sure, yeah, a couple of things. Actually, I just participated in London Playwrights Rap program that they do in January, and that actually really helped me focus on a short play script that I'm hoping may be a part of a production that we have locally in Northern Kentucky in June.
Mm.
And because I'm trying to get myself refocused on musical things, it is a play with music, so it's sort of a hybrid a little bit. So that is something that I'm not 100% finished with. The script is done. For the most part, the lyrics to the songs are done. Now I just have to pair the lyrics with some music to bring the whole thing to completion. So there is that. There's actually another project we have I live in the greater Cincinnati area in the States, and there's a theater here that does something called homebrew theater, where they pair local beer with local plays. And it's an awesome event. I love it. And so they will actually start taking submissions sometime to mid to late summer, and they actually do their production in January. So that's sort of on the horizon for me that I'm hoping to have something to submit there, and hopefully we'll be able to be a part of that production. So nothing sort of locked in at the moment, but a lot of projects that I'm working on. One other thing to note is that I'm actually currently the president of the Kentucky Playwrights Workshop, which is an organization that encourages and promotes playwriting among Kentucky playwrights and also among theaters in Kentucky. And so we have a full year of programming planned, and so be spending a decent amount of my theatrical time working on that as well.
Busy, busy man.
Yeah.
Uh, and last but always considered a tricky one. Do
Yeah.
you have a standout moment? A moment that when you look back or when you think about it makes you say, yeah, this is why I do this?
Um, I've heard other interviews, and I knew that was coming. It is a tough one. Um, but I would think that I wrote one of the first plays of mine, or musicals rather, that was produced was a one-act theater for young audiences musical. And so, there's sort of a special place for being the first show that you have on stage. But then actually I felt like it wasn't quite done, and so I rewrote it to be a full-length theater for young audiences musical. And it's been a while now. It was back, I think, in 2014, if I'm remembering right. I may not be, but I had the opportunity to have that produced as well. And so I think just seeing, because I'm passionate about musical theater, being able to see something that I created that was a musical being performed and being well received was, I think, kind of a standout moment for me.
Now move on to talk about our playwright and play for this episode. Rebecca Frew first joined me as a guest back in season 3 of Theatrical Shenanigans and has since been featured as a panellist and a featured playwright on 2 occasions. Once in our second year anniversary special and most recently in our Play a Day special. Rebecca's play today is called Bramble Green and looks at the interesting events that take place in a small village where one woman is chosen to return to after a breakup. And the village, you guessed it, is called Bramble Green. Theatrical Shenanigans presents Bramble Green by Rebecca Frew.
Hello there. Would you like tea or coffee? Oh, I've also got the last slice of our chef's famous carrot cake too. Can I tempt you? It's only £1.50 as we're just finishing up for the day.
Oh, nothing, thank you. I'm here because I saw a sign in the window that said you're looking for volunteers here at the community centre. So I came to see if I could help.
Fabulous. What's your name?
Dawn.
Well, hello, helpful Dawn. I'm Angie. We're just cleaning up now after the film club. They watched Moulin Rouge today. Oh, one of my favourites. Shame I can't still can at 73. I would have given them a run for their money back in the day. I bet you could throw a high kick, though.
I'm 38, not 28. I twinged my back this morning doing a bit of light yoga.
Oh, well, we'll leave it to the professionals then. Anyway, I'm the volunteer coordinator here, and we're always looking for an extra pair of hands to help out. Come with me and we'll go to the office. I think Elaine, the centre manager, is still here. Let's go and have a chat with her. Come in. Hello, Elaine. I've got a new volunteer recruit here called Dawn.
Excellent. Nice to meet you, Dawn.
And you.
Come and have a seat, both of you. Now then, Dawn, what brings you to Bramble Green Community Centre?
Well, I've just moved to the area, so I thought it would be a good way to get to know people.
Where did you move from?
Oh, only about 20 miles away, but...
Oh, darling, I know it can be scary moving to a new place.
Sorry, no, it's not that. I know the area a bit. I'm renting the little one-bedroom cottage on the corner of the green.
The beautiful Tudor-style one?
Yes, that's the one.
How lucky. I've always loved that house.
Oh, it's my parents' house, the Petersons.
I know them. We met them at the summer fete last year. They live in Wales, don't they?
Yes, that's right.
Are you sad that they're not here?
No, I mean, well, yes, but... Well, that's not the reason that I'm upset.
Go on, love, we're listening.
I moved here to get away from someone.
Bad. A bad man. Was he horrid to you, Dawn? Don't worry, I'll sort him out if he shows up. Is he on Facebook? What's his name? I'll have a look.
Angie, let Dawn tell us.
He,
I get it. He cheated on you. Thinking with his you-know-what and sticking it you-know-where, was he? Honestly, I can't believe him. What a wank.
Angie, please.
Sorry, Elaine, I just get a bit passionate sometimes. Oh, go on, Dawn.
well, he broke my heart.
I knew it. He's an utter twat.
You poor thing.
Tell me what happened, Dawn. I'm gunning for him now.
Well, he said that I wasn't serious enough about life, so he had to move on. 5 years we've been together. He knew I never wanted kids, and I'm happy in my job ordering and dispatching stationery for offices. Well, I thought we were happy. But 2 weeks ago, I came home to a post-it note saying he's gone. He even used my limited edition gold ones to write it on.
The blooming cheek of him.
Did he say where he was going?
Nope, just gone. Took all of his stuff, so I thought, right then, I'll show you. So I've come here to get more serious about my life.
And your first port of call was to a community centre full of OAPs?
Well, my parents' house was empty and I couldn't afford the 2-bed flat that I was in, so they said I could stay there for a while. I thought I'd figure out the rest when I got here, and it led me here.
Well, we're happy about that, aren't we, Angie?
Yes, we are. I love a bit of drama.
That's not what I meant.
This place is like a graveyard sometimes. It's nice to have some fresh blood.
Angie, why don't you pop and get us all a nice glass of your lemonade? Is there any left?
No, of course there isn't. It's the best seller. I should start taking a cut of the profits.
OK then. How about a nice glass of water for us all? It's very warm in here.
I know. I was going to strip off when I was in the kitchen, but I thought Donald might have had a heart attack, and though I'm tempted to put him in the ground, he makes a mean lasagna that he brings to me every Tuesday. Oh, wait, today is Tuesday, isn't it? Oh, yummy. I better be off. I need to wash my hair.
Sorry, Dawn. Angie's a colourful character.
Please don't apologise. I love her already.
I constantly have to apologise on her behalf. Her mouth runs away from her sometimes.
Honestly, there's no need.
So, back to the volunteering opportunity. We here at Bramble Green Community Centre pride ourselves on offering a wide range of activities for our users. We're open to all ideas, well, apart from fencing. Jim and Barry ended up stabbing each other a little too viciously and both ended up in hospital last month.
Oh, ouch.
You do need to watch some of them here, they're feisty.
Warning noted.
But we also have a parent and toddler group that gets a little wild, so perhaps you could come up with a calming activity that would suit all ages and not result in any injuries.
Well, I've not really thought about what I could do. I just thought I'd help out with the teas and coffees.
Well, yes, you are welcome to do that. But we do try and encourage everyone to get a little bit more involved.
Okay.
What do you like doing?
I like reading.
We already have a book club on a Monday night. Anything else?
I like dancing.
We have pole dancing classes on a Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
What about something craftier? Jill, who used to host the card making club, just moved away to Spain to live with her 30-year-old lover, lucky devil. She's in her 60s and is living her best life.
Yes, it sounds like it. Good for her.
So, what do you think? Fancy turning your hand to a creative activity?
Well, I do like pebble painting.
Pebble painting?
Yes.
Well, that sounds simple enough. I think we could make that work.
With Easter coming up, we could theme it and paint rabbits and chicks and things like that.
I think that sounds like a wonderful idea, Dawn.
Oh, great. I can bring all the pebbles. I've got hundreds at home.
Excellent. We have lots of paint and brushes here already, so I think we could get this set up quickly.
Brilliant. Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you, Dawn. How are you fixed on Saturday morning next week?
I'm free as a bird. Or a chick.
Right, let's get it in the diary then. I'll print some posters and spread the word, but I think we'll have a full house for this one.
I'm looking forward to it already.
So am I. Also, Dawn,
Yes?
we really encourage talking here. It's good for the soul, so don't be afraid to open up to anyone here. We're all a friendly bunch that have helped each other through lots of different things. If you want a friendly ear, we're all here for you.
That's lovely. Thank you, Elaine. I already feel very welcome, so thank you.
Blimey. In all of the excitement, I nearly forgot my bag. I've got a new top in there that I'd like to pop on before Donald comes round. Don't look at me like that, Elaine. It's not because I like him. It's because I spilt some ketchup on this one at lunch. See you.
She likes him.
Yes, I think so too. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today in our first pebble painting session. As Elaine might have mentioned, we're going with an Easter theme today. I've left some simple outlines of rabbits, chicks and eggs for you to copy. or just paint whatever you like.
Dawn,
Yes, Angie.
I have a rabbit in a drawer at home, but it doesn't look like this one that you've on the paper in front of me. Well, which one should I draw?
Whichever one you prefer, Angie.
All right, I'm going to need a bigger pebble.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay, well, have fun. I'll be sat by the door just in case anyone else arrives. Come and get me if you need any help.
I didn't want you being sat here on your own, so I thought I'd come and join you.
Oh, thanks, Angie. That's very kind of you.
Also, I wanted to ask you about that rascal of a boyfriend of yours.
Ex-boyfriend.
Yes, him.
Well, I've not heard from him, to be honest.
That's because I sent the mafia after him. He won't be a problem anymore.
Oh, that is a bit of a shame. He still owes me 200 quid.
You should never lend a man money. Just get spent on rubbish.
Yes, in hindsight, I agree.
What did he buy with the money?
Well, he was supposed to be getting his mother a birthday present.
And?
He bought a limited edition Pokemon card.
A what?
A collectible card that he thinks will earn him millions. He doesn't know yet that I burnt it. Accidentally, of course. Oh, it just happened to fall into the fire pit.
Good for you.
I still miss him, though.
I missed my husband for a long time after he left me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I also burnt a lot of his things. It's very therapeutic, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You know, when he upped and left 16 years ago, I was utterly broken and alone. But slowly, over time, I realised that it was the best thing that he could have done. I became so much stronger and happier.
I'm not quite there yet.
No, but you will get there.
There was so much more that I wanted us to do together.
Well, like what?
I don't know. Swimming with dolphins, having a really posh, expensive dinner and ordering crystal champagne.
Well, if you're paying, I'll be there.
Well, perhaps I should have been a bit more ambitious.
Don't start to doubt yourself because of a man.
But what if he's right?
They really are, darling.
All I do in life is go to work, come home, watch a bit of trash TV and go to bed. I was content, and I thought he was too.
Do you want to know what I did when I found myself all alone?
Yes, please.
I focused on all of the things that I could do.
What do you mean?
Well, little things like painting my nails wherever I liked. He never used to like the smell, said it gave him a headache. When he left, I made it my aim to paint my nails in every room of the house.
And did you?
Of course I did. It didn't take very long, though, because it's only a 2-up, 2-down house with a bathroom. But I did have a chuckle to myself when I painted them sat on the toilet.
On the toilet?
Don't worry, I wasn't spending a penny. I just thought it would save me from getting any drips of varnish in the bath.
Oh, right.
The point is, you need to do something rebellious to cheer yourself up.
I'm not sure.
Come on, don't be modest. I'm sure you did things that he didn't like.
I used to scrape all the wax from old candles and keep them in a pot. I always said that I was going to make a new candle from the old wax, but he told me not to bother because it was too much hassle. I'd make a mess and I could buy a new one for £1, so it was pointless.
Well, you know what you've got to do then, don't you?
Make some candles.
That's right, my girl. Make some candles.
Okay, I will.
I'll come and help you if you like.
Yes, I would like that very much, thank you.
I've always wanted to poke about in your cottage.
It's not much to see, I'm afraid.
Do you know, there was once a very eligible bachelor that used to live there.
Well, I'm sure he's long gone. There was a young girl there with her daughter before me.
I'm trying to think of his name.
Hello, you two.
Hello, Elaine.
Hello, Elaine.
Dawn, I've never seen the place so busy. We've got more than 40 people here today for your pebble painting.
Wow, that's amazing.
The age ranges from 9 months to 99 years. Everyone I've spoken to has said how much they're enjoying it, especially with the painting pens you bought for the little ones. I think we'll make it a weekly class, if you want to, of course.
Yes, I'm so glad everyone's enjoying it.
Stop waffling, Elaine. I'm trying to think.
Oh, sorry, Angie. Anything I can help with?
The cottage.
What cottage?
The one that Dawn lives in.
What about it?
What was the name of the bloke who lived there years ago?
What bloke?
Oh, honestly, Elaine, less questions, more answers, please.
Right, sorry, Angie. Let me have a think.
Come on, then.
It's coming to me. Oh, his name is on the tip of my tongue.
Yes?
Now, did it begin with a T or a P?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. I forgot what I was doing as I walked out of the house this morning. That's why I've ended up here.
Not to worry, it doesn't matter anyway.
A. It began with an A.
Aaron?
No.
Arnold?
No.
Argarth?
Is that even a name?
I don't know. But if it isn't, it should be. Argarth sounds like a rich man's name.
Aidan. It was Aidan.
Aidan, yes, hunky Aidan. He was delicious. He had jet black hair that he slicked over one side, bright sparkling blue eyes, and a body to die for, all rippled like one of those galaxy chocolate bars.
How do you know what his body looked like, Angie?
He used to parade about, cutting the grass with his top off. I had to keep an eye on him just in case he tripped and shredded himself on the lawnmower.
Honestly, Angie.
I'm head of neighbourhood watch. I was just doing my duty.
Where did he go?
Oh, he got a job in London. He was a manager of some tech company and was given a big raise, and off he went. My days became a lot duller, I can tell you.
He was a lovely boy. Sorry, man. He was 28 when he left. So he'd be the same age as you now, Dawn.
That must have been who my parents bought the house from 10 years ago. I can't believe he already had a mortgage at that age. I'm still paying off a water bill from 3 years ago.
He's probably been snapped up by now. I should have taken my chance and gone to London with him like he wanted me to.
Really? Did he ask you to go with him?
Well, not in so many words, but I could see it in his eyes. They were pleading with me to go with him.
Of course he did, Angie.
But you've still got Donald, haven't you, Angie?
He wishes that I'd go on a date with him.
Donald is one of the sweetest men I know.
Well, you date him then.
He's a bit out of the age bracket that I usually go for. Dating someone 30 years older than myself seems a little bit too much of an age gap.
I shouldn't get too fussy if I was you, Elaine. You don't want to be left on the shelf.
Thank you, Angie, but also he's not the right gender for me.
Oh, I see. You fancy a bit of Donna rather than Donald.
I wouldn't put it quite like that, but yes.
In that case, my next-door neighbour's daughter is a lesbian. Would you like me to put a word in for you?
Thank you, but no. I've just come out of a 3-year relationship and I'm enjoying my alone time again.
Sorry to hear that, Elaine. There was me blubbering the other day.
No, it's fine. We're still friends, me and my ex. The romance just wasn't there.
Check us out. 3 single girls together.
I think I'm going to get a dog. It's got to be easier than being in a human relationship.
No, a bloke that's trying to get rid of a dog.
Getting rid?
Yes, he's a mate of a mate.
I was thinking about getting a puppy.
Oh, well, if someone doesn't take this one, then it's going to be put down.
How awful.
Oh, never mind then.
Well, hold on a minute. Have you met the dog? What's it like?
She looks like the back end of a bus. She's a lovely old thing, is Dolly.
Dolly.
Yes, Dolly.
Dolly? The big grey dog?
Yes, Harold's dog.
Why is he going to put her to sleep?
She's too big now for Harold. She's a hefty girl, I'd admit, but, oh, the sweetest thing you've ever seen. The dog rescue centres are full and there's nowhere for her to go. She's only 5 years old.
There is somewhere for her to go.
Where?
With me. I'm not letting her get put down. You tell Harold that I will look after her.
Are you sure?
Yes, I wanted some more responsibility, and Dolly sounds like she'd fit the bill. Plus, I'm sure she would like to stay in the community that she's familiar with. Will you arrange for me to go and see them, please, Angie?
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, you are a lovely person, Dawn. I'm so glad your boyfriend left you and you came here.
What Angie means is we're so happy to have you here, Dawn.
And I'm happy I'm here too.
Elaine, what have you drawn on your pebble?
It's a rabbit.
From your drawer or one that hops around a field? Because I tell you, it's not like any rabbits that I've ever seen.
Quite like it. It's got a raw look to it.
Raw? It looks like it could roar. Look at the size of its teeth. It's a dinosaur rabbit.
I was never any good at painting, but hang on a minute. What have you painted on yours, Angie?
That is a rabbit.
Looks a bit long to be a rabbit. Are you sure you've not painted a snake instead?
I'll need another pebble to draw a snake. I'll be back in a tick.
Dawn, I just wanted to check in with you after last week. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you, Elaine. And you? Are you okay after everything?
Yes, thank you for asking. Oh, gosh, look at the time. We better start telling people to start packing away. The Kung Fu class starts in 15 minutes. We better hurry or they'll kick us out. Literally.
Where's Elaine running off to?
She's telling everyone to pack up as the Kung Fu class is starting soon, apparently.
Oh, that's a shame. I guess I'll just have to paint my snake next week then. I found the perfect shape rock too.
Not to worry. We'll hide it so nobody finds it.
Thank you, Dawn.
No worries, Angie.
No, I mean, thank you for being so nice to me.
What do you mean?
Well, I know that sometimes I let my mouth run away from me, and while I shan't apologise for that, I know that it rubs some people up the wrong way. So thank you for taking me as I am.
Angie, You are one of the sweetest people I have ever met. I already enjoy your company so much, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you more.
Thank you, Dawn. I'm looking forward to spending more time with you too.
Right, everyone is packing away, and the day is nearly done. I could do with a drink.
Good idea. Should we go to the pub?
Go on then. Dawn, do you fancy
You
it?
don't have to ask me twice. I can taste the Pinot Grigio already.
Isn't the Robbie Williams tribute on tonight too?
Yes, he is. We can have a bit of a dance too. Just don't get us chucked out again like last time, Angie.
Why? What happened?
Care to explain, Angie?
Well, it's not my fault that Robbie couldn't handle an older woman dancing with him.
Gyrating, you
It
mean?
was just a bit of fun.
He complained to Pete the landlord and got us kicked
I
out.
might have had one sherry too many. I'll stick to the rum tonight.
Do you mind if I pop home first so that I can change my shoes?
No problem. We'll save you a seat.
Hello, sorry to interrupt, ladies, but I used to live in the little Tudor-style cottage across the green there. I was just in the area and wanted to see if I could have a look around it again, but there doesn't seem to be anyone home. Do you know who lives there?
Aidan? Is that you?
Angie? And is this Elaine? How are you both?
Aidan, we were just talking about you.
Oh, I thought my ears were burning.
What are you doing back here?
Well, I'm looking to move back into the area. I've had enough of London. I can work from home a lot of the time, so time to come back to Bramble Green.
And we'll be thrilled to have you back.
We certainly would. My front garden could do with some mowing. I don't suppose you're available to give it a quick trim tomorrow, are you, Aidan?
Of course, anything for you, Angie. But on one condition.
Yes, you can have my hand in marriage.
Oh, that wasn't what I was going to ask.
No, you're right. It's too quick. We'll wait a while. You don't have to come back and rush me, Aidan. We've got all the time in the world.
Excellent. We'll come back to that another day.
What were you going to ask, Aidan?
Sorry, where are my manners? Who else do we have here?
Oh, hello. I'm Dawn.
Dawn? How lovely to meet you. Hope these two aren't leading you astray.
Not yet, but I think it might be a possibility later when the drinks start flowing.
Are you going to the Bramble Inn?
Yes, would you like to come?
Yes, then perhaps I will find out who lives in the cottage.
Well, the answer is sitting right in front of you.
Stop gawking at me, Aidan, or I'll have to file a restraining order.
He's not looking at you, Angie. He's looking at Dawn.
You? You live in the cottage?
Yes, it's my parents.
The Petersons?
That's them.
They bought the house off of me to use as a holiday home. Are they still in Wales?
They are.
Has the cottage changed much?
Why don't you go and find out?
Angie, Dawn might not be comfortable with that.
She's going back there anyway to change her shoes.
I don't want to put anyone out. I just love that cottage and I miss it so much. I want you just to go back there. It's the only place I've ever felt like home in.
If Angie and Elaine can vouch that you're not a murderer, then I suppose you could come and have a quick look.
Only if you don't mind.
She doesn't. Look at the way she's eyeing you up.
Angie, shall we leave?
Yes. Elaine, we better go and get the good seats at the pub so I can get a good view of Robbie and all he has to offer.
Oh, sorry. I haven't properly introduced myself. I'm Aidan.
Yes. Hello. Shall we go back to mine then? Not in that way. You can just have a look around while I grab my wedges. I can't dance in flip-flops. I'll slip over and make a prat of myself.
I could always hold you up.
I might let you if you're lucky.
You know what? Coming back here, I do feel lucky. I'm ready to get serious about my life, and I think in order to do that, I need to be here, in Bramble Green.
Do you know what? I feel exactly the same.
Well, personally, I quite fancy a move to Bramble Green myself. That was Gillie Stoneham as Elaine, Elaine Teague as Angie, Monica Brodowska as Dawn, and Brian Holmes as Aidan with Bramble Green by Rebecca Frew. So, Fred, what did you think?
Oh, I loved it. It's such a heartwarming piece. There's so much that I enjoyed about it. So, and I must say right off the bat, though, that I'm absolutely in love with Angie.
She's what I'd describe as a character and a half.
Exactly. Yeah, I think there's so much heart to this piece. Like, obviously it's about Dawn looking for a place to sort of land and recover and, sort of find some belonging. But in a way, even with Angie and Elaine, like it almost feels like they're all there at Bramble Green finding some belongingness in a place. And so I love the overall just vibe and feel of the piece, and I love their interaction together. So well done.
Yeah, I love the fact that, because obviously Angie is described as an older woman, But I love the fact that she's not shy about anything. She is perfectly happy to get as graphic as she needs to be to make her point across.
It's just a little bit naughty, but yeah, she's wonderful. She's delightful. Oh, and I think, it even comes across even in the way that Dawn just is immediately drawn to Angie. Like even though Angie tries to be apologetic about how much she talks and the way she behaves, but Dawn's like, no, I love you already. You're perfect just the way you are. So, in a way, probably there's even a little bit, to be learned by Dawn of Angie and just all of the characters. I think there's aspects that of their personalities that they complement each other well, and they kind of learn from each other.
And obviously, I know we have Aiden come in at the end, but I love the fact that for the lion's share of the production, it is about women drawing strength from each other in
Yes.
difficult times. So obviously, Dawn comes in with her initial troubles, and then Elaine shares hers, and Angie just kind of supports them both in her own sort of slightly demented way. But I love that. I love the fact that it is kind of strength. It's slightly cliched with the way I'm saying it, but it's strength through almost sisterhood.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think, the Aiden twist at the end is kind of fun. It kind of gives it a little bit of a Hallmark special vibe to it, but I liked it. I mean, I think it was great. And I could even maybe see this being expanded into something even longer. Like I think there's a lot of interesting characters and history and things that are built up even in the script as it is, but would give a lot of opportunity to explore kind of expanding and spending a little more time with some of those characters. But yeah, I agree. I love the fact that it was really the three of them supporting each other, getting to know each other, sharing their, just bits about their lives together. But yeah, kind of keep Aiden towards the end, give him a little moment, and then it was done.
But it struck me, it's like, as you say, there's more to explore. It struck me as the type of thing that could be almost a serial. Like you
Sure.
have that, this little village somewhere in the English countryside, and you have the people that you see time and again. You have some people that kind of come in and drift away, and there are people that you're heard talk about, even in this particular play, that you're now thinking, oh, I want to know about them.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
I really want a scene with Angie and Donald.
Yeah, I want to know if that relationship happens. I want to know.
Exactly. And then we need to meet Dolly too, the dog, I think,
Oh yeah, poor
yeah, was
Dolly.
a lovely moment. Yeah.
I just and that's the great thing is there are so many images that are brought into your mind, like
Mhm.
the way she describes, like even Dolly, she looks at the back of a bus, and it's
Yeah, right.
like, and it's like this poor dog, and then as you hear them talk about the classes they have at the community center and the people that come there to visit, you can almost see it in your mind. You can see the
Right.
chaos of the mothers group, or the slight hilarity of the pole dancing class, and
For
yeah,
sure.
it's a play that just keeps on giving. So it's that you don't even need to physically see it on a stage, although I'm sure it would be amazing live, but you can almost see those images in your own head, just as they're described between the characters themselves.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she did a wonderful job of even just within very little dialogue, kind of building that world and really being able to bring it to life. So yeah, I totally agree.
One question that did come to my mind when I realized I was going to be chatting to you about this particular piece is that I've done this before, where we have plays that are set in England, and obviously there are
Mhm.
Englishisms involved. Do you think something like this would translate over to the US?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, there were a couple of terms that I had to look up, like I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but OAPs or
Oh, old age pensioners.
okay, yeah, I didn't know what that was, so I had to look that up. But no, for the most part, I think it would completely translate. Yeah, I mean, there are community centers in the States and little towns, and so yeah, I think, without much of an adjustment, I think you could easily have this be something staged or set in a small town in America, and it would play just fine.
International potential.
Exactly, for sure.
Okay, we are almost out of time. Fred, your final thoughts on the piece as a whole?
I loved Bramble Green. I agree with you that I think there's opportunities for us to see more of it. I think a serial or a series would be amazing just to be able to spend a little more time with the different characters and the different situations within the play. And yeah, I'm still in love with Angie. If she is looking for somebody to to hang out with, I might give her a ring. No, I'm
Oh
just
my
kidding. Don't
God.
tell my wife. I'm just kidding.
That would make, to be fair, that would make an amazing next episode. Angie goes to America.
That's right. But no, yeah, lovely piece. I really, really enjoyed it.
There you go, Rebecca. The public have spoken. We need more.
That's right.
Okay, we are out of time. Fred, thank you so much for being here and discussing this lovely play with me.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you including me.
And that is it for this episode of Theatrical Shenanigans. I hope you enjoyed the chat and performances we've had today. As always, we wouldn't be able to produce this show without the fabulous playwrights, voice actors and guests, so I'd like to thank them all. And if you've enjoyed this episode, or any of the others on Theatrical Shenanigans, you can follow us on both Facebook and Instagram, as well as subscribing on Spotify, Podbean and YouTube. We'll be back in another fortnight with another wonderful play, and I hope you can join us then. But in the meantime though, I've been Rachel Feeney-Williams, this is Theatrical Shenanigans, bringing down the curtain and saying, I hope you can join us next time. Theatrical Shenanigans is part of an RFW Scripts production, found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts and Podbean. Theme music is written and produced by Chris Cody.